So the best way to get a color match for this makeup is to look out a window or front door. Okay, look out the window. You want to look out at that beautiful snow and snap a selfie. Make sure there's no lights on above or behind you. Check it out. Show a little of your neck. Check it out. Make sure the skin tone looks pretty true to what your skin tone is. Send it to me in Facebook Messenger and I can get you matched. It's that simple. There is another option if you don't want to do the selfie thing. You can make an account under the link and then you go to collections. There's 3 to choose from. There's a basic bundle that's around $111 with tax. There's a middle ground with a bronzer and some shadows. And then there's an all-in collection. So you select your collection. Then there's a little spot to select your shade. So you scroll through the women, pick which one looks like yours, add to bag. You can get it that way too. So I'm going to demonstrate this for you. This is a palette 12. I like to say to start with a palette 12. A palette 4 only holds 4 large tints. So that's your 3D foundation and 1 lip and cheek. So if you want to add to your collection in the future, I always recommend grabbing a larger palette. You can still just get the basics, but grabbing that larger palette makes all the makeup in one spot if you do want to grow your collection. So when we get matched to 3 colors, 3D foundation. This is cream makeup. I was scared of cream makeup, but it is the secret sauce for anybody that's, like 30 and above. It's for the maturing woman. It moves with your skin. It's heavily pigmented because there's no water in it. So less is more. So I'm going to get going here. The 3 colors you're matched to, I base them off your eye color, your eyebrow color, your hair color, your skin tone. Contour is the darkest color. It's scary, right? But it's not scary because I'm going to tell you exactly where to put it, and a little goes a super duper long way. So hang on. The lightest color is the brightening highlight. We put that kind of where you would apply concealer if you use concealer. It's just going to light and bright that triangle of a light, bringing our eyes forward and the center of our face forward. And then we have the main highlight. That goes where we don't have product, usually the lower half of the face or where a gentleman would grow a beard. And then we just blend it out. It takes about 2 to 3 times. And once you do it a couple times, you have it down packed, and it takes less than 5 minutes. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna start with the Scary Contour. I am gonna use 2 brushes today. The blush and bronzer brush. You can get this cheaper if you bundle it with a bronzer. I wear bronzer all year round. Who doesn't need it right now when the snow's falling? So I recommend going through the bronzer bundle collections to get that a little cheaper. And then I'm using the detail brush. You can do this with 1 brush. If you're gonna, I recommend the 3D foundation brush. Yes. Okay, so I'm using the detail to start. I'm gonna show you how I put this on. So this looks like a paintbrush, and I was scared to use it at first, but you just kind of wiggle that edge into your contour color, and it kind of stamps it out. We're going top of ear to outer corner of eye. Okay, we're chiseling out that cheekbone. You always want to aim on being higher than lower because we want to lift the face, okay? So top of ear to outer corner of eye, or you can feel for that cheekbone and go up and under. Contours kind of have an ashy tone because they emulate shadows. They're emphasizing the shadows of our face or our, bone structure. Our contour has coverage. Every part of our 3D foundation has coverage. So I go up and under the cheekbones on both sides. They are not equal. That's okay. Cream is super forgiving. I love that about it. And we're gonna blend in the end. So up and under the cheekbones, and then I go temple to temple right along the hairline. I'm starting to get some hollowing in my temples, so I kind of go right above my temple, hairline to hairline, or temple to temple, but I don't go in the temple because if we add shadowing to that temple, it's gonna look more concave than it is. So just go right above it, right above temple to temple. What that does is makes our forehead appear round like it is. And if you have a longer forehead like me, it might make it appear just a hair shorter. So now I'm gonna stamp out eyebrow line down the nose to narrow the nose. Look at that. This is made for contouring. This brush makes it super simple. even though it is pretty simple to start. So you see, you just kind of follow your eyebrow line down your nose, and that narrows your nose. And then I kind of cut it off right at the tip. So it's kind of like a little button nose. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it, okay? So then a little under the lip there for some added pucker. You can skip this step if you want, but it just kind of adds a little pucker to that lower lip. Last part of the contour, just right on that lower half of the jaw. Under the jaw, the undercarriage of the jaw. It really chisels out your face and differentiates between your neck and your face. That's a natural shadow that you just kind of put a little more contour there to emphasize. I brush this back right away. Otherwise, I'll forget about it if I can't see it. That's contour. Now I'm going to start with the brightening highlight, the lightest color of the 3D foundation, and I'm switching to the small end of the detail brush. Remember, you can get this done with one brush. And if you go through the website and it gets a little daunting, you can go to collections and it takes care of you. It has your main highlight, your brightening highlight, your contour. You can get bronzer, eyeshadows, your palette, and your brush. It takes care of you. Otherwise, you can go through Palette Builder and completely customize this to you, what only you will wear and like. So I put brightening highlight in between the brows, covered up a few little friends up there, went down my nose, tip of nose, and then I'm gonna go Cupid's bow, because I'm super red here. We've been blowing our nose in our house a lot. And the least amount is best with this, okay? Because it's such heavily pigment, you don't need much at all. So I hit my Cupid's bow there, and then I hit the center of my chin for my triangle of light. And then I'm gonna attack that inner corner of the eye, and it just totally opens that eyeball up. And then the outer corner, I like to kind of go lower lash line up to lift my whole eye. We're gonna blend in the end, so. Now this inner corner, the littlest bit goes the longest way. Remember that. If you use too much, you'll know, you won't like it. The stuff works in our favor because it's heavily pigmented and you don't need much for coverage. So the outer corner up. You see what that does for my eye? We're chiseling out our face. Now we're done with our brightening highlight. We're gonna go into our main highlight. I'm switching to the blush and bronzer brush. I'm going into the main highlight, the one that looks most like my skin tone. And I'm just gonna press in lightly. You don't need to dig. Less is more. And I'm just gonna press this where I don't have product. Lower half of my face, where a man would grow a beard. I have a few hairs there too. So you can drape it up here if you want, but there's no need to cover every single part of your face because cream is forgiving and it's gonna blend out beautifully. So I like to blend light to dark. That's just how I was taught. And I'm gonna stick with this blush and bronzer brush. So I'm doing like little circles. You can press it into your skin. That's called stippling, and that's supposed to be the nicest for your skin. You'll see me do kind of a combo of swiping, which is real bad. And this right here is stippling. That's the best. So try to do that if you're thinking about it or you have a couple extra seconds. Press it in, because sometimes swiping does swipe the product away. So stippling is best. We're just blending this out, light to dark. And then we're gonna attack that contour and blend that out. Our brushes were made for this cream, so they basically pick it up, deposit it on your face. You have to clean them once a week with a brush cleaner. We have a great one. Or you can do any kind of brush cleaner. And then once a month with soap and water. I like to recommend the Blue Dawn dish soap. For some reason that works better. Or the Fells Naphtha laundry bar made by Purex works really good too. So now onto the contour. I'm gonna just kind of do small circles or push this back into my hairline. So there's not such a big difference between my light and my dark, but I still have that nice natural shadowing. And then I'm gonna buff these nose lines out, just kind of run my brush over them so they're still there, but they're not harsh. Okay? Now we're gonna lift up. You kind of flick this cheekbone contour up. It lifts your whole face. So up and back. You never ever wanna drag it down or do big circles because it will drag down your whole face. So kind of flick that up and back for a full little lift. You see this side. We got a little lift going on over there. So just flicking up on this side now for that nice little $16 facelift, you know? Look at that. So this is our 3D. We have coverage, we have dimension, we have a little lift and glow. Now I'm gonna add a lip and cheek, and I'm gonna tell you what the basic bundle includes. So I'm feeling this. This is Plum. She is a really pretty color. So I'm gonna use her. They double, our lip and cheeks double as lip and cheeks, and this is a normal tin size, okay? These smaller ones were holiday editions, so that's why they're half size tins. So this is Plum. So good. Really good color for this time of year. And I'm gonna use Plum on my cheeks too, so I'm just dabbing in. Remember, everything's super highly pigmented, so you don't need much at all. I think all of my blushes have lasted 2+ years, even though they say, you know, annually you should replace. But look at that Plum on the cheeks and the lips. Such a good shade. So I kind of like to go apple of my cheek and up because I've lost volume mid-face. But if you're still trying to thin your face, start outer corner of eye and work up. That will just kind of work like your contour and lift and thin your entire face. So that's Plum on the lips and cheeks. I like a little blush. This, you can do this real subtle, or it's buildable if you like a little bit more too. So everything I just put on my face, your 3D foundation and a lip and cheek, a brush and a palette, starts at $111. It's a great place to start with Saint. I'm gonna add a few little things that I like to wear all year round. So this is Bella Bronzer. I love her. I think she helps in between seasons. That's what I meant, seasons. So when we're going into spring and summer, this gal will help you get the most out of your makeup. So I use the blush and bronzer brush and go with that big end into Bella. And then I just kind of dust her top of cheek, the high points of your face. You see where I have bronzer on this side versus this side. The one thing I like about our bronzer is there's no shimmer and it's not orange. It's just kind of a golden brown color. And then if you ever feel like you're a floating head, you can always bring that bronzer down your neck. But I love Bella, and I recommend her for everyone. If you're super duper fair, maybe tan lines would be more of your friend, but there is 4 bronzers to choose from. So this is Saint. All that was in here, and look what I have for other options. This was our new shade of the season, Tiger Lily. And then we have Vanilla Dust setting powder that I like to use. It actually helps blur fine lines and wrinkles. Let's use a little bit of that. So a perfector, you can grab one off our site, or you might have one at home. And I just go into my Vanilla Dust, and I like to press on my under eyes for a little bit of blurring. And this gives your makeup staying power. So I go mid-face, kind of around my nose, and then, oops, around my mouth. So, and then I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 other lip cheeks. This is Illuminator. It's super fun. It's like highlighter. And then I have 6 eyeshadows. I'll show you a little bit of what Illuminator does. So this one's called Starlet. And you see, it's just so pretty. And you can put it on top of your cheekbones. I'll probably use my brush a little bit, but you already see it kind of catches the light. So I love, this can be used as eyeshadow too. I love how versatile our makeup is. But that's a little Starlet Illuminator too. There's so many things to choose from, but if you want just the basics, you can get started with this at $111. We're super pumped you're here. There's more to come, a lot more content. Feel free to ask me any questions you have at all. We'll wrap this thing up on Sunday. So have a good day. Stay safe. The weather's getting nasty.